Hey plant lovers, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my easiest to propagate plants. These are the plants that I personally find easiest to propagate, but if you have different ones that you find easy, do let us know in the comments. First is the Jade Plant, and this one is super easy to propagate, so much so that I have loads and loads of these all over the house. I have more jade plants than I know what to do with. All you have to do with this one is snip off a part of the plant, put it in soil and keep the soil moist, and yeah, it just grows roots and they are super easy to propagate. Just make sure that you don't over wet the soil, just keep it moist. And yeah, these are some of my previous propagations that I did. I've also given loads of these away, but this is definitely one of the easiest plants to propagate. I do have to mention the purple passion plant because every time I've propagated this one, I can't tell you how fast it's rooted. It's been one of the easiest plants to propagate for me. And I'd say the cuttings probably rooted in some cases in less than 2 weeks, but in about 2 weeks. And yeah, this plant is a prolific grower too, so it grows back really quickly and it has this gorgeous purple colour. So yeah, super easy. And if you are looking to give these away to people, then they propagate really quickly. Also, if you would like some more to pop back into the pot, bearing in mind that they don't take very long, you could just keep adding cuttings back into the pot to make a fuller plant. So in general, Syngoniums are super easy to propagate. Some of them grow a little bit more compactly, but certainly the ones that vine, they are so easy to propagate. I find that they root really quickly in water, and you can just put them straight into soil too and they root just fine that way. But I am always propagating Syngoniums. I always have some around the place, and not only do they propagate really easily, they also grow really fast too. So once you've propagated, your new plant will grow super fast. I can highly recommend propagating Syngoniums. I promise you, you will be addicted. Another super easy plant to propagate, any kind of pothos. They have really long vines, so you can just chop them up and stick them in water or stick them in soil, whichever you prefer. I found that both of those work really well, so it doesn't really matter which one you pick. But these are really good too, because not only do they root quickly and easily, they also become more bushy in the place that you cut from, because you usually get 2 vines. So yeah, win-win with this one. This does go for any pothos, so this is the Marble Queen variety, but yeah, you could propagate any kind of pothos and they are known for being super easy. Monstera Adansonii is another of my favourites to propagate. This is actually a brand new propagation that I just took today, and I've just popped them in soil. I've just put my cuttings in soil. I love propagating this plant in soil. It also propagates perfectly fine in water too, but it roots really well, and yeah, it grows really quickly too. So it starts growing really fast once it's rooted, and you'll have a full plant in no time. So yeah, this is definitely one of my top favourites to propagate. Because it grows so fast, you always have loads and loads of propagation opportunities. I have a climbing one that I use for propagating, and whenever it gets too far growing off the pole and it needs to be trimmed, I just propagate those bits. And yeah, I've always got a few of these around. Any variety of Tradescantia is absolutely amazing for propagation, and again, when you propagate from these, you will find that you will get lots of new growth. Not only that, but these are known for being really easy to propagate. You can use soil, you can use water, and yeah, this is another fast grower, so it's very satisfying to propagate because you get fast growth back as well. And this goes for all varieties of Tradescantia. This is just an example. So this little guy here is called Iresine Herbstii Funnygold, and this one rooted actually just as quickly as my purple passion plant. and it's been super easy to propagate. I would highly recommend propagating this one. It also makes the original plant more bushy as well, so it's a win-win situation. Rubber plants are also super easy to propagate. This is a propagation, and I gave most of these away, but I ended up with one that I haven't got rid of yet, but this one propagates super well. You can do it in, again, water, soil. I personally find that this roots a little quicker when you put it in soil, but that's just me. You may have a different experience, but yeah, try it in water, try it in soil. Have a bit of an experiment, that's what I would say. But this is a Ficus elastica melanie, I believe, but yeah, this applies for any rubber plant. They're really good. They don't always root the quickest, but persevere because they do root, so maybe they're not quite as fast as some of the other ones I've shown you, but they are really good sturdy plants to propagate from, I find. Another plant I've had huge success with propagating is the Monstera Siltepecana. It does grow these really long vines, so yeah, you've got loads of propagation opportunities there, and you can add them back to the pot to make a fuller pot, or you can make new plants. But because this one grows so fast and it has these long vines, yeah, you can basically just propagate to your heart's content. And this one has aerial roots. A lot of these plants, not all of them, but a lot of the ones I've shown you have aerial roots, and they tend to be probably the quickest plants to root. So yeah, if you see aerial roots, then you will probably get roots much quicker. But this one for me has just been so easy to propagate. I have added a bunch of plants back into the pot, and yeah, it's just made it full of plants. So I shall definitely be doing that again, and as with some of the others I've showed you, this one is also a fast grower, so you're going to get very fast growth too, so you won't really miss the bits you cut off. I mean, I can't tell you how quickly this one grew back after I propagated from it. It was just a tiny little thing when I got it. So yeah, Monstera Siltepecana, highly recommend. Another plant that I propagated recently is this Iresine Herbstii Bloodleaf, and this one was really satisfying to propagate. This is all the new growth at the top. So I've got 2 new branches growing where I cut the one off, and that is what I like to see, because not only do you get fuller growth here, but also the plants that I took from this, the cuttings that I took, they rooted in, I think, about 2 weeks, but they were super fast. They were on par with the purple passion plant. So yeah, I did do a lot of reading for this one before I did it, and everywhere was saying yes, it's a brilliant plant to propagate. It responds really well to it with new growth, and also it roots really fast, and I can confirm that is true. And yeah, it's a really good plant to propagate. I would highly recommend this one, especially if you're looking for a little bit of colour. Thanks so much for joining me for today's video, guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you're into planty content. And until next time, guys, as always, make sure you look after your plants and look after yourself.